Pick, you would say, as far as Legends is concerned, across this lineup. And now Flex Gang, the team that you were mentioning a few moments ago, unfortunately for them, Lagger has been dropped here, but should be able to get revived pretty comfortably here by the Gibraltar in the bubble with that increased res speed. But the only problem is that has alerted the team that is inside this building to try and get aggressive, to try and finish them off. And now we're going to see a bubble fight going down. Flex Gang lose another player, and now Lagger's going to be the last player alive, having just been the first person to be knocked and then get revived.
And that's North, and they are fully looted up. Flex Gang, it looked like they were third-partying there, but then North...
Of that next circle as well. I think they're just about inside that next circle, I should say. But North look like they're the team who are going to be trying to pressure them here from the outside. And like you mentioned just a few moments ago, 2 fully loaded Evo shields on Tashin and Mande. And of course, North, the Wraith with gold as well. But that's a huge, massive shot coming in from Winnie, and that is going to absolutely annihilate RPR.
You know his team's going to be nearby. A member of North does not go down lightly, and not able to engage though. A Caustic in there, making things really annoying. And honestly, they're having trouble finding a way to rev their buddy here. He has to get to the low ground because there's a fence there, but there's a team coming through the portal here, and they are immediately regretting the decision to go through that portal. North turning around and taking them out. Nice repositioning here by RPR. Let's see if we can get him rezzed up. A lot of teams get engaged here in that bubble. This is getting extremely chaotic. 11 squads left, and it seems like they're all converging.
Yeah, it's a very expensive place to live at the moment, and only a few teams can afford to be there, and North is trying to be one of those teams who can make it out. Tashin now getting caught in that caustic gas, and he's going to be taken down. Mandy now is desperately trying to pop a bubble to stay alive, and his teammate is using that knockdown shield to try to give him that time to get those meds off. But Team Purge, who have rotated early, like you can see here, from the armor that they have on all 3 of those players, are just farming KP at the moment, or trying to desperately hard to do so as teams are rotating in towards them. But
some sniper shots, a longbow, no skull piercer on that. You want that skull piercer. Hasn't been able to find that, but Flavor of the Month taking some shots. But as I was mentioning earlier, Purge was inside that building, and they made that so difficult for North. I don't know about that decision to go try to engage that from North, but Purge was in there. They had the Caustic in there, and they were the first ones to really do a lot of damage to North. And now we're seeing this team, Flavor of the Month, on the high ground up here. This is the area kind of overlooking all of this, so of course they're going to be able to lay some suppressing fire. Meanwhile, you got some Wraiths making it easy to get from point A to point B. So very interesting play happening here as this area gets smaller and smaller. Another fight. Gambit.
It's all going on now. Gambit involved in this battle, as you can say. Leogri's going to be on the quick side of the circle, so as you say, 10 seconds to maybe try and pick up a few kill points or do as much damage as they can, because they're going to have the toughest of the rotations in here. And you can see the Wraith port is going out. There's going to be some damage putting down, and Caller Esports are in all sorts of trouble. They're going to be the first team to drop in this final battle. Major pushes now. You can see the Caustic ultimate going out again from them, and they're trying to do as much damage as they can. You can see the damage being done as well, as Mauan now is going to desperately push in as well, and they're going to manage to wipe Gambit off the face of World's Edge. Final battle now going down between the 2 teams. It's Major Pushers who are trying to be the aggressors here, and on the other hand, it's Execute, and some big, massive shots there from Koze are going to make this an interesting fight, but it isn't good enough because Major Pushers are going to be able to loot up as well. And it looks like they're thinking that this one might be ending around where they are here at the back of Thermal Station, but vibing. They're a team that's looking to get through this choke at the moment. The only problem they've got is there's a team slightly ahead of them, so they managed to actually get through. Excuse me, a little bit of confusion on my orientation of where we were on the map, but
no, you're good.
Holding out the team who is trying to push in.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. A lot of these features are very similar. The Noski team, though, is very close to the Alliance team, I believe, in the bottom left, so we'll have to just keep an eye on that. We're getting a lot of close quarter action here. Vibin trying to hold, throwing down a bubble, throwing down the ultimate. Evasive tactics here. We got a portal going down. Gonna try to get out of there. Pathfinder getting really low. Joke getting dropped. Gibraltar trying to escape danger, but there's no running to safety, it feels like, for Vibin.
So Vibin now going to have to get the res, but they did manage to get all the players back up. You can see that Eco biting is going to be able to get back to his feet there. The Gibraltar still have only the Evo shield to work with. The only problem is I do believe they're getting pushed now, and I don't think that SJP2 realized they've managed to get those heals off in time, as we're going to see Denze go down. We're going to see his teammate go down as well, and now it's going to be all up to Kim to try and get the finish, and that is a clutch win from him. The damage done by his teammates, but
they might be able to run off with a lot of this loot.
Yeah, Denze's going to be able to just about
as I say that,
shots on his way down. He got a little bit of a tickle on the back as he made his way to that house, but he's going to be pretty safe there. He didn't get down, no real problems for him, but a few problems here for Flex Gang. As you can see, the Elwin has been taken down, the Gibraltar player, but they're going to pull him away and try and get that quick res. But the problem is Lagger's going to have to hold off that team and do some damage, and that team is Luminosity Gaming, and Rugby is that man with the wingman in his hands. He's not missing too many shots here as he does some damage onto this player, and he's going to be able to get the finish. So LG here, team to watch certainly as the weeks have gone by, and they're going to pick up some KP here early on.
Very nicely looted. Also, I'm seeing Na'Vi getting downed in the bottom right. We'll keep an eye on that. Luminosity fully kitted up here. Here's Flavor of the Month. Taking shots. It's Iwin. Almost all the players are still up in this lobby on each of these teams, which is pretty cool. Luminosity, one of them. Full purple shields. They're going to be happy about that. See an R99 with plenty of ammo. Mastiff in the back pocket. And a wingman here for Rugby. And a scout. Okay, we're over on Flavor of the Month, and they are very well kitted as well. Gonna take a little bounce.
Over that lava.
A mighty leap from Gibraltar. Something out of a movie there, that leap.
But that man glides. Everywhere he goes, he glides. He's not heavy-footed. He's just one of those people and one of those, you know, characters. He just glides everywhere that he goes. But Flavor of the Month at the moment doing big damage with that ultimate coming in from Noth there, trying to put some more damage down. You can see the kill feed really starting to light up.
Yeah,
there's a lack of space for these teams to be moving, and now you see, as you say, Purge being taken out, Alliance getting involved as well, and now you see Luminosity Gaming getting nice and aggressive here as the push is going to be coming in, and that is clean as you like. One player was downed, which is Zanya, but he should be in a position to hopefully get back up. But no, Flavor of the Month getting aggressive again with the pull and looking for those KP.
Yeah, third party, Flavor of the Month, pouncing at the perfect moment here. Can they take advantage? One getting knocked. Got to be careful about that. There must only be a player left from Luminosity, but he is putting up a serious fight, maybe able to get his teammate up. Very chaotic indeed. Flavor of the Month feels like they still should have a slight advantage, but another getting knocked, and now it's only Taylor who's up, and he's finding himself not in the action. I'm trying to listen. I think I might have heard even more shots.
And you got Outsiders involved in this fight as well. So 3 teams, I think one's kind of overlooking it, and that is Outsiders just trying to get that last piece of damage away to get that KP. But they're actually a little bit closer than I thought, excuse me. However, if they wanted to be far away, they'd be in a pretty good position to do so with this Kraber. If this shot hits, by the way, this is play of the day already. Please, pull the trigger, Kader. Unfortunately for him, that shot didn't quite line up for him, but Outsiders here trying to push in and finish off that fight as the R9 shots are going to come in here. From your Silta, should be able to get the finish on the Wraith, but a few whiffy shots there, but finally his team. Also got that full Evo shield, the Alliance playing it cautiously, and they're actually in the circle. All right, no, they're going to have to move a little bit closer. This building over here. We have some shots going on, and we can see Flavor of the Month in a little bit of a fight. Looks like SJP getting knocked. Here's Taylor. He's the last man up. He's still trying to make something happen. Over to Alliance now, taking some shots. We see that Caustic ultimate being deployed. These teams getting so close to each other. Down to 5 squads here. Hawk is here for Alliance with the wingman in hand. He's got the DT on it as well, so he'll be able to do some damage through that Caustic gas, but he's now going to have to be forced to queue out of this position. His teammates are going to come in and execute that player that he did the damage to. So Alliance, who had the drop over at Thermal Station,
this could go any direction, and there is a third team somewhere, and it's Flavor of the Month. Only 1 player left. Taylor did a great job just lasting this long, but he's going to try to pull off a miracle and maybe get second place, but he's getting tracked down, turning around, trying to take a massive shot. He gets taken out. Alliance, they're going to pounce. They have to. Alliance versus Outsiders. This is the Wraith. He's going to be sprinting away. Needs to try to help out his team, though, but he's going to maybe try to get some shields up. Looks like they're going to keep their distance for now. It's Alliance here against Outsiders. See... shield being used. Got that Kraber. Critical shot. Able to knock the shields. Does Outsiders have an advantage here with this Kraber? Or will Alliance be able to come through here?
Question is, he needs to hit a shot. He manages to hit the 152 as well, and that might signal the opportunity here for Outsiders to push. The only problem is they've got a Gibraltar ultimate coming down on them as well, but Kader gets nice and aggressive, but that doesn't matter. All down to Mistral now, and surely he's not going to be able to finish this one off. A 1v1 though, and he manages to... Where SJP2 find themselves as well. Refinery certainly the area to be right now for all of these teams. The thing about this, when you have so many teams rotating early and finding space inside a big building like that, when it comes down to that moment that they're all forced to move, it really is about split-second decision-making, waiting for those moments. But one moment that isn't being waited for is, unfortunately, SJP2 to be able to back down as they're coming under all sorts of pressure, and they're going to be clean.
Just finding a nice spot and staying there and hoping your team does the same, or you just push hard, and we'll see if that happens. Lava City Boys right next to another team here, just staring at each other like something from Star Wars on the other side of this force field. Finally deciding to engage. LCB coming forward down to one. He gets knocked. Another team coming forward, a third party that's vibing, actually getting knocked down. One player left there. He's just going to get out. And that might be a good decision at this point. If you just try to survive another few places, sometimes it could be worth it just to run from the battle. Cooler, all decked out with full red, full Evo shields across the entire team. They've been running around the silo area for a pretty long time now, and now zipping to the top. They're in a pretty nice spot.
And when I see all red, I just think of Darth Maul's lightsaber, but the only thing scarier that I can think of at the moment is 3 full red Evo shields on the backs of Cooler Esports. Na'Vi, another team who are still involved in this battle, and they've managed to just get ahead of that team that was rotating in on them as well. The gold bag is going to mean that Claws can get back up to half health as well, but unfortunately for them, Cooler now are just shooting fish in a barrel on the top of Refinery building. It should be nice KP going down for them. 7 squads now remaining as Na'Vi will be taken down. Finally, it was Outsiders who managed to pick up those KP themselves. The only issue here for Cooler is ammo. Just looking across, 60 bullets of light to work with. And now we're going to see Natsuki Strafe and Devil managing to get into a battle as well. And that last massive shot there onto Kader will mean that they will survive for just a moment. And as I say that, the strongest position to work with here. None of that building is inside. The station is not comfortable for those teams who are currently sitting there. There's a team underneath Big PP as well, and they're going to have to make that move, and they do make that rotation. Now that fight's going to come in, and here comes the late push here from Gambit Esports, just raining down terror from above. Massive shots, R9 shots all connecting on those players below, and this should be easy KP for them. 2 squads remaining now. Gambit are one of those squads. It's
got to be Gambit and Cooler, I thought, but 2 knocks from Cooler. Cooler might be... No, I think Cooler's gone. Who's left? Is it North?
I think it's Outsiders. I think it's the Rat that was holding themselves down.
Oh.
Is it? I don't believe it was, actually. He was taken down, so it doesn't matter. At this point, it's academical. There's 2 players trapped in the corner.
It is North.
And that is going to be... A lot of teams are going to be looking to find some ground within runoff to try and set up and work from here. But vibing, they're already in a battle here. And this is the thing about Kings Canyon, especially in the first game where, as I say, we've got some new teams joining the lobby from the Bravo division. A couple of those drop spots and POIs will be contested off the drop. A little bit like we saw in our first game on World's Edge. Nobody was immediately eliminated, but it certainly forced some early fights as we're going to see Chaos here. He's 1 HP and a Dream. Unfortunately, the Dream turns into a nightmare for him, and it's going to be Big PP Aura who are trying to put the push onto this bubble.
Yeah, and kind of in the open, but we see that Gibraltar shield being used. Looks like they're going to get taken out here. Zenma, the last player alive. He has no ammo. 0 ammo. He's just running around. What do I do? Yeah, I've had a lot of fun fights in this area. I'm sure a lot of people have. And there's some creative tactics that can be employed. Flex Gang was just here. And there they are. Seeing someone. Okay, I believe there's about 3 teams in the area now. Flex Gang might have to fight 2 fronts at once. They've been setting up some defenses though. Looks like they're downing a couple players here in that left tunnel, but there's another team coming in from the right. So, and actually behind them as well. So a lot of teams mixed in to this pit area. It's gonna be mayhem pretty soon.
Major Push is one of those teams who are going to be pushing in, and they do manage to get the down. The nice shots with the flatline coming in from Ranches, and he's going to go for the Thirst as well and take down Iwin. So he's down. And now they can try and push and be aggressive on these final players who are trying to retreat. Plenty of loot for them to work with, but as you say, there's so many different teams around this tri-choke area of the pit. It just means that you've got to be careful. You can't overcommit into one of those fights, because if you're the player who just gets caught out, just overextending ever so slightly, it can put your entire team at risk. of being on the receiving end of that third party come in. So Outsiders here having a little poke and a prod themselves to see if they can catch some of those players rotating out of those fights. But again, you can see, making sure that they're making that decision at the right time. And in this occasion, it looks like they've decided, nope, the time is not right. We're going to back down here.
Flux Gang in trouble. 2 down, only 1 left up to Kid. The Wraith is going to employ evasive tactics here to get out of there. But unfortunately, there's a lot of teams around, so I don't know if there's any running. Flux Gang might just get taken out. Yep, there it is. Flux Gang out. And yeah, dude, it's like kind of a micro arena King of the Hill situation with the pit. Very easily watched over because it's so narrow and it's hard to escape. So craziness around the pit. I love to see it. Purge is still trying to get out of the airbase. They're getting suppressed. The flavor. This is the same fight here. Flavor of the month, still trying to take down Purge, and they're in a great position. I don't know how the Purge gets out of this.
Every time I've seen Purge, it's been a different player who's been knocked, I believe. I think when he's gone down twice, someone else went down once, and now you can see Flavor of the Month are just waiting, but they're not waiting. They're getting super aggressive. They're getting their shots in. Taylor now in position to have to finish off this fight as Noth will go down in this battle, and now he's getting aggressive. Now he's pushing in, and that will be Flavor of the Month finally getting the job done here onto Purge. And poor Purge in that particular circumstance. They were doing everything they could to get back up to a full complement. Unfortunately for them, Flavor of the Month weren't having any of it.
Oh, I wonder if anyone heard that. That's what I was thinking. And guess what? Lava City Boys is here. And there's no one to fight this. There's no one to fight it. Is he going to go in? He should just go in. He's not going in.
Yeah, that's not a good play. I don't know what to say about that one. Drop in on your own.
I mean, he didn't know. He needed to just run in there. But now Flavor of the Month is up. He just didn't know there was only one up there. So, but the thing is, Flavor of the Month, they have nowhere to run. They have only one way out. So Lava City Boys should be able to figure this out. They're still in the high ground position. But there might be other teams hearing all this happen. So this might just get pretty crazy.
Yeah, you got a tough rotation out here, Flavor of the Month. They did manage to get the thirst onto Saj ill there. Managed to
Nowhere
get
to go.
down. They do have the Pathfinder though, so they're going to be able to get the zip line up. The only problem is there is a team above them at the moment, so Pierre's going to have to try and use that grapple to get up on the high ground, and what a grapple that is as well to get that angle in that position. The only problem is there's so many teams surrounding them that Noth is going to be the last man alive now as he manages to get the finish.
Flavor of the Month, they might get away with this.
Flavor of the Month have somehow, some way, by hook or by crook, managed to stay alive for now. The only problem is, having got out of that sticky situation, they find themselves in another one right now as SJP2 are going to get aggressive as they try and rotate in across this open ground. And there's another third party now coming in, and although Taylor's been downed, SJP2 now in position, and luckily for them, they have the Gibraltar bubble as well to manage to get that revive up and make sure they have a base of operations to actually fight this from. And it does look like they were successful in this fight, so SJP2, it looks like that decision was a wise one in the end of things as they clear out their back here towards the south side of Kings.
Yeah, and that must be Alliance.
Alliance trying to get into a position here where they can get some shots down this team in front of them, who I believe is Nasky, Strafe, and Dell. So a big fight here going down in the context of the leaderboard.
Yeah, a quick peek of the overhead would be great. A real quick peek, but there's so much stuff going on. So many players in such a small area. We have new esports here, very close to Alliance. All these guys are on the west side of the circle. Alliance coming in, taking some shots, trying to clean up this squad. They have 44 seconds to kind of relax. Are they getting third-partied? That's actually a pretty nice spot right there where these guys are. It might also be in the next circle, but it's pretty hard to engage that, and they can just chill and watch everything unfold. But I believe most of our teams are in that core building here in the runoff area. More fighting happened. There we go. It's North. Finally, someone coming in and fighting against North, taking the fight to North. Can they survive this? They're in the top 7. They want to do a little better than this. I mean, they're fine in the standings, but just pride. They want to do as well as they can. Getting caught off guard in a moment.
Be dropping Malawan as Artico and Gambit Esports, the winners of our last game on World's Edge, are going to be still involved. Just a 2-man squad for them, but big shots with the wingman from Hardeki should at least back that team off.
Yeah, Gambit has been pretty much everywhere in this final circle. They were outside for a time, but now finding themselves away indoors, and it might have been them who was facing off against North there and converging onto that team. So we'll have to see if anyone from North made that alive. 6 squads left. SJP is still up, looking fine. The Outsiders looking okay too. Trying to escape this tiny area they're in. Receiving a lot of suppressive fire. Of course, there's a few teams in the buildings, a few teams outside of these buildings here. One team on top. SSJP with plenty of armor. They're looking in a pretty decent spot. They've got the high ground. They've got plenty of armor. Looks like they might be struggling a little bit on ammo, though. This is Hardeki. Gambit getting converged upon, extremely low in health, trying to pull it off with the Mastiff. He gets knocked. Gambit taken out.
SJP2 then on top of this building, down to our final 5 squads now. As you can see, Outsiders will be dropping. The team inside the building, Gambit. North, though, getting involved themselves and coming back for a little bit of revenge. And Nasky, Strafe, and Dell are having to hold off an aggressive push here. They do have the Wattson ultimate down, so no nades are going to be doing damage for them. They're going to force a team to come to them and take that fight. But Nasky now with the Mastiff in hand is going to have to pop some syringes to try and get back up to a full complement of health. And all this fighting going down around them at the moment. You have to say, Nasky, Strafe, and Dell have done a great job here of holding off the push, as RPR is going to be in a 1v1 here for the final fight, but he can't hit that. Here is usually a pretty good position to be in, because everyone else has got to drop from that high ground. They force into that fight. They take damage on their way down, and Nasky, Strafe, and Dell setting up that portal for that final battle as well. So it's all going to come down to this. And as we see round 7 about to close, Nasky, Strafe, and Dell overlooking that final circle to see if anyone is going to be jumping through, and you can see the fight already going down, and Luminosity are the first into the battle.
Luminosity jumping down, Gibraltar getting dropped, but Luminosity might not be able to stay alive here. Rugby, Nasty Draft, and Dell coming in there also. The circle getting incredibly small. 4 squads left somehow, some way, fencing everywhere. And we'll have to see if that ends up happening. Looks like already, as I say that, some thermite grenades being thrown somewhere. That was a great one. And that's going to be a push from someone. So Vivint is taking some fire. And they're in trouble. One man knocked. Pathfinder on the high ground. It's got a Havoc and a Hemlock. Looks like plenty of ammo. Yep, there it is. Big PPR. They're going to be the ones coming in here. And are they going to be successful? It looks like actually just one player left here. I think this is a 1v1 situation. Yes, it is. Here's Vivint. His Joke coming in. Trying to clean this up. He's got the Havoc. Trying to take that out. Needs to reload. Trying to switch weapons. He's going to have to reload that. I think his Hemlock was empty, and he's going to shield up. Nice grenade. Just barely getting the shield up in time. Zanma trying to finish this off. Takes out those teammates of the other team. Still has blue shields, and that might be enough to try to push here.
And now we're going to see that push. Still a 1v1 situation between the two. That is going to be the shield broken. That's
wow. So there are a few places for these teams to kind of hold up shop. But that circle, it's starting to get smaller and smaller here. So we're gonna have these teams face off against each other. Outsiders taking some shots at Figvam over there and able to execute on some of those shots. Xander having to replenish those shields. A Caustic player. Figvam receiving a lot of fire from across. They're just trying to find a place to hide for now. Placing down some Caustic traps, trying to get those shields back up and running. And at this point, you could almost safely assume there's almost always going to be a third party. There's other teams hearing what's going on. Gambit finding themselves in a firefight. He's got that Mastiff out. One man down, though. Hardeki, he's got the full Evo shield. He needs to get in the fight. And it looks like they are able to successfully take out a team, at least 2. I think we were at 15 squads earlier, and we're still at 15 squads, so there must be one still left alive. He's trying to run away. Is he going to make it? No.
But for now, it looks like Lava City boys are going to be in a fight of their own, and oh my word, that was some sort of fight, and it is Purge who absolutely dominated them now, but now Aski's the last player alive, does a big 112, and they are not going to come out of that on top, and Lava City boys, initially the damage was done onto them, but they managed to turn it around very quickly, but no surprise here comes the third party, and it's going to be up to Lava City boys to pull off something magical again, but unfortunately, just too much to ask of the one player, and he will be taken down, and it will be Luminosity Gaming.
And getting ready for the next fight. Now we're moving on over to Vigfam, who are in that Cascades area, receiving some fire. And now they're coming to this lower tower area in the river here. Looks like there is a team, at least one, maybe 2, maybe full squad in that below the tower, setting up those fences. Some pretty nice shots coming in, but some pressure is on these players because they have to move. The circle is coming in, and there's only one way they have to run. Looks like Kerry Rubik getting on the other side of these players, throwing some grenades, hiding behind this Gibraltar shield while shielding up. Figvam trying to hold this location, not quite in the circle yet, so they have to keep going. It's a race to avoid the zone, but also to shoot each other, trying to throw a desperate Caustic trap. He gets knocked. That's not going to be good. Is the res going to happen? Can he make it to the circle? He barely makes it inside, it looks like, but there's another team shooting from the other direction. That's a little awkward indeed. They thought they were in a hiding place, but receiving some more shots. SJP, though, they're getting taken. But it looks like they're going to happen upon a couple teams in a little bit. Flavor of the month, meanwhile, on the east side of this rock, they have to pick which way to go. Which way are they going to go? To get towards that circle. Found a nice little crafty spot that's working just so well for them there as they lay some grenades down. Gambit looks like they're able to clean up Flavor of the Month in a very quick fashion. I think they just came behind him real quick. And now we're down to 6 squads, so North finding themselves in trouble, trying to leap up to high ground, and they get taken out, not going to the best spot. So Luminosity actually sweeping in behind North, but I think Luminosity is about to fight the team that North was just fighting up against, so let's see if they can prevail there. Looks like they've got the full red shields, receiving some damage. The other team is going to be scurrying away a little bit. 3 squads left. Looked like Purge was taken out.
Then immediately try and push off of it. So a lot of pressure on the shoulders here of Sanya to hit a big Kraber shot, maybe get it down onto one of these players. The option is there, and there is that big shot. He does manage to get the down, and that is going to open things up here for LG. They're going to use the Gibraltar defensive bombardment to try and push Gambit down into them to force this fight. And again, the Kraber in the hands here of Sanya could be a real game changer for them.
Now, Luminosity is in a really good position. They've got the full Evo shields. This Kraber is going to be critical. Can he lay down a shot? Can he put the team on his back and output that damage that is sorely needed? It's going to be probably between Luminosity and Gambit here. I mean, we have Zanma, the only player left. He was able to clutch earlier, but can he do it again against 2 of these top teams? I mean, Gambit and Luminosity, these teams are really good at Apex Legends, so I have a feeling it's going to be down to them. And it looks like the final fight's going to happen soon. That Star Wars situation, looking at each other from the other sides of the force field. The Wraith coming in there with the Mastiff, trying to dish out the damage. Gambit pouncing on a Luminosity there, but it looks like Luminosity is going to prevail. No! Once again, Big PPR finding themselves another fight early on. Zenma trying to stay alive. Nice use there of the escape, getting away just in time. Very low on health. He's going to turn around and actually re-engage with them. Gets a shot with 70 hit points on that. Chaos is knocked though. Zenma gets knocked because he's already low in health. 1 player's left. Aiton coming in. And this might be a 1v1 situation. It's Joke V2 very low in health. They're probably yelling 1 HP, 1 hit, 1 hit. Go get him. Go get him, 1 hit. And he got him.
Does. And he does. As simple as we're very interested around them in taking that position potentially, but now Figvam have actually managed to move ahead of them. So North are going to have to be very careful on their rotation as Figvam have actually spotted a player out here down low, and that's going to be big shots coming in there from the 301. There's also going to be the Caustic barrels going out as well to try and slow that progress down. So Figvam kind of caught between what they want to do here is they're actually going to use that Caustic ultimate to throw in, but no, it gets eaten by the Wattson ultimate. So that's going to be the interception pylon taking out the gas, and that is going to be devastating there for Xander, having thrown away that ult.
Not ideal at all. They had a great engagement to start off. They're dishing down a really good amount of damage, but now I'm not as sure about their fortune. North somehow finding some really nice shields. They are very well situated. She's got the auto Prowler, one of my favorite guns in the game, and they are just gonna have some fun here.
On that next position they want to try and take a hold of, and it's going to be the Wraith portal that is going down. There's another one in front of him as well, so to link those 2 up. But Luminosity Gaming's Zaya is going to be absolutely nailed by 2 grenades. And they're kind of hold up here. You can see in this building they're going to have to try and pop the res to get him back into the game. But Gambit have heard that res going off. The audio cue was enough for them. That is a green light to push. The shots here from Hardeki aren't quite good enough, but the left hand and the right hand will get the job done. As Gambit do manage to do the damage, and they will take down LG. That's clean from Gambit.
What a storyline there. Those are the two teams that were stuck in the tower on top of each other. Eventually, the fight moved out to the streets, and we saw the results unfold. A very dramatic occurrence there. Gambit, once again, doing what they do best, it seems. SJP just in an earthquake right now. They're not too happy about their position. Suppressive fire looks like from Lava City boys. They're trying to suppress. They're trying to get on rezzed up there. They might have a full squad, but they will be very weak indeed. They're gonna need some time to pop those shields, get their health back up, and they're not gonna have that time. Oh gosh, SJP sweeping in there, taking him out. North still alive, still working. It's got the Mastiff here and the full Evo shield, but taking a fair amount of damage. Still trying to hold this spot.
Big damage coming in from the Mastiff, and it decides. Have to decide, excuse me, if they're going to use that pull or if they're going to walk in with the zone. But major pushes from that push. They have the team in control, because look at where they are right now, up on the high ground. And they're just going to watch all of these teams move in on them.
Yeah, it's closing. This is about to get crazy. We have so many teams running into this circle as the zone closes around them. This is Cooler Esports. They have to make their way forward a little bit more. A lot of teams constricting into this spot. 6 squads left. Just keep an eye on that kill feed. There you go. Gambit actually getting knocked out. Alliance doing a good job there. And somehow, Gambit might be running into some trouble here as we're down to 4 squads, and it's still going.
We're on board with Purge here, have been set up in this building pretty much for the majority of this game, just raining fire down through the cracks in the floorboards from that team that is below them. They have lost 1 player, but they will be able to get the revive, you should imagine. Alliance having to make their move in as well. He's forced to queue in this situation. Can he hide behind this beam just long enough? No, he will be taken down, but Face is still alive here, playing that knockdown shield behind his teammate. So he might be able to sneak out a few placement points here as major pushers don't realize that he's down there. Or do they realize they're now going to make that push and it will be 3 squads because Alliance will be eliminated surely at this point?
Yeah, it's almost inevitable. Major pushers in such a great spot here. 3 squads left. It seems like all the other teams are just in tatters. And that's going to finish off Alliance. There's 1 squad left here. Major pushers trying to hold off, trying to close it down. He's got the Mastiff out, and there it is. As we see Gambit having the best day today. 40 kills. Ridiculous. Pretty well above the next contender.
If it's a game, I'm losing, 'cause I said I'd never